Hey everyone, I'm just going to go over part 2 of my mini series on getting ready for the Izzak Walton tournament that's coming up in just a few days. Stay tuned. Okay, what I'm going to do here really quick is I'm going to strip off the old line on these spinning rods. I'm going to be using the spinning rods for Ned rigs and tubes. See if I can find some smallmouth. I'm going to try to get out Saturday, the day before, just to check out the area, find maybe productive water. And if I can't find productive water, at least I know the areas that I can avoid come tournament time. So first thing we want to do is we're going to strip down these rods, and then we're going to spool them up with some vicious braid. For the spinning rods I'm going to be using, and then now I'm going to put on the 10-pound vicious braid. Then what we're going to do after that is on the rods we're going to attach the fluorocarbon leader to the line. I'm going to probably have two to four. Usually I have 2 to 4 spinning rods on the boat. That's the rest are bait casters. And this one here is a Enigma Phenom series. It's a 7.2 medium, and it's paired up with an Ardent Finesse 3000 reel. And if you look here, there's like a rubber piece right in here on the spool that helps the braid from slipping on the spool. Because you ever notice when you're fishing, if you don't tie the braid to any attachment on the spool, or you don't put backing on, the braid has a tendency to slip. I usually do put backing on, but since he's had the rubber part on the spool itself, I just skip that, and I haven't had any problems with it. I have my braid on my rod. I'm going to connect my fluorocarbon leader to the braid. The way I do that, or your leader material, whatever you're using, fluoro, mono. Then I take my braid, run it through the loop. Leave a little extra, for the tag end you can work with. And then what I do is I run this loop, or the braid, down my leader. Do a few turns here. 9 to 10 turns or so would be good. Some people do maybe a dozen or so. It's what you feel comfortable in. Then after that, I'll run the braid back up the fluorocarbon. At least 9 to 10 wraps. And then when I get up near the end, I'm going to see which end my braid came through, the fluorocarbon, and I'm going to go back out the same way as I came in. Now the thing here is you want to make sure that this knot is wet. That way it'll cut down on the line burning itself and then actually weakening the line. Now I'm pulling both ends, both the tag ends of the fluorocarbon and the tag end of the braid, and pulling them all together. Off the tag ends, make sure you have the tag end and not the main line. I have done that before. Cut the main line instead of the tag. I have a small compact knot, the braid and the fluoro, and it'll fit easily through your guides on your rod. Now my fluorocarbon leader length, I think right now it might be 14 to 15 feet. Yeah, it's about 14 to 15 feet long. Alright, now once the line's attached, your fluorocarbon leader is attached to your braid, you got to decide what lure you want to use. And for my spinning setups, I'm going to be using the Power Team Lures food chain tube. I have yet decided what color I'm going to use. I want to check the water conditions when I get down there, because depending on what the water conditions look like, I'll decide on the factor of which tube color I'm going to use. It'll probably be a darker color, you know, a black, blue. We're supposed to get some rain before we go down there. And smallmouth, you know, they're sight feeders, so it might be difficult to find them. I might have to just target largemouth. I guess we'll find out Saturday. The Ned rig, I'll either be using the Z-Man Ned rig, or I will be using the Power Team Lures 6-stick. And the way I use the Power Team Lures 6-stick is I'll actually cut it off, cut this big chunk of plastic out of the middle here, and I'll just use the end piece and then run the Ned rig hook through there, and it'll sit there on the bottom just like that. This tail will be there, it'll be wagging back and forth, and it'll bring in them smallmouth. But we'll have to see what Mother Nature throws at us. And I will continue that in part 3. That'll be the final part of the tournament prep. And then following that will be the first practice day of the Izzak Walton tournament. See you then.